popular Booktok books worth it? We're gonna go through it. Now, some of these I have in physical copies and some I'm just going to be reading off my phone. But I'm going to tell you if I think these viral Booktok books are worth it. Now, as always, this is opinions based. So this is my opinion. You do not have to agree with it. You do not have to like it. This is just what I feel. I'm going to be going through ones that I feel like got a lot of chatter, especially in the year of 2025. Either they came out in 2025 or they had like a resurgence in 2025. So first off, we're gonna start with Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. Now, this blew up and everybody was like, oh my god, it's so spicy. This is the spiciest book she's ever read or ever written. It's so kinky, it's da 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 da. I read it and I was disappointed with how kinky it was not, because I expected to go in and it was, I thought we were getting 50 Shades of Grey up in here, and it was like not. It was not gray, okay? It was like barely, it was pushing it. It was beige. It was beige adjacent. And like, it was wonderful. I loved the book as a whole. I give it a 10 out of 10. Would fully recommend. I loved Lucas. I loved Scarlett. I loved the way their whole thing came about. Did I like the ex-girlfriend? No. Did I think she was redeemed and she should have been redeemed at the end? Absolutely not. I thought she was awful. But I do love other woman drama, and we were getting the other woman drama in spades, and it was chef's kiss, secret relationships, dating your friend's ex. Those are all the things that I love that made this 10 out of 10. I thought the spice was very good. I just thought that it was hyped up to be this very spicy, kinky book that it ended up not being, which is fine. Like I said, it was very good. I just think people took some of it and they were like they went a little bit crazy with it, but 10 out of 10, fully recommend. Releasing 10. Now listen, this is going to be a book I want to hear zero criticism about. I don't want to hear your think pieces. I don't want to see you break it down page by page, chapter by chapter, character by character. I loved this book. Did it make me sob uncontrollably? Yes, it did. Is it loved? Clearly it is. Did I only read it one time fully? Have I been able to go back and revisit it? No. No, sometimes I like to flip through and find the really angsty parts and reread them to make myself cry. That's just how I am. It's just who I am as a person. But I think this is also a 10 out of 10. I fully would recommend this. The only person I would not recommend this to is somebody who doesn't want to read things that get really dark and deep and graphic, especially when it comes to like those sensitive topics that are in this book. I think if you don't like it when it delves into sensitive topics, this is one that you should just maybe avoid. But I think this is one that I would say, yes, worth the hype. Silver Elite by Dani Francis. Is this worth the hype? This is gonna be a maybe, because while I loved this book, I really did enjoy it. I loved it and I can't wait for the next one. I don't know if this is like I don't know if it's the hype that everybody kind of made it out to be when it first came out. Everybody was like freaking out about this. Do I love this? Do I highly recommend this? Yes. But there are some books where like everybody's freaking out and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And there are some books where like, yes, is this well written? Is this a good story? Yes. But it's not something like revolutionary, something I've never heard before. You know what I mean? So I'm going to put this on the maybe. I do really love this, and I do love like a mind link, we can talk in each other's mind kind of thing. There's something about that I like. So I'm going to put that on the maybe. Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. Do I think that this is worth the hype? Yes, I do. A lot of people I have seen, here's the thing when it comes to a book that's a part of a series, right? Not every single book is going to be an absolute banker. There are going to be some books that are like a part of the series where you're like, yeah, it was good. It's not my favorite, but it was good. That's how I felt about Iron Flame. Onyx Storm really brought and gave what it needed to give. It was giving me all of the vibes that I like, especially when it comes to Xaden. And spoiler, if you haven't read this yet, I'm very much looking forward to an evil Venom Xaden. I'm excited to see that dynamic play out. I hope we get evil. I hope that she leans into that and she kind of gives us what we all want. We like it when he kind of loses control a little bit. We like it when he's evil, but like play it up with the evilness, but don't make him too evil towards Violet. You know what I mean? Like, he can be Violet towards everybody else. He can burn the world for her. He just can't burn her. You know what I mean? Like, throw the whole world away, kill everybody. I'm cool with that, but don't go after your one true love. I liked all the characters, all the character growth in this book. It was very funny. I love our little found family that we have. I love our moments with Riddick. He is like one of my favorites, and he is so hilarious, and if she kills him in the next book, I'm knocking on her door. It's gonna be the last thing that she does. Threat. Just kidding. I understand that in series like this, we are gonna have to lose beloved characters. I just don't like it. I understand it. I just don't like it. So I do think this is worth the hype. This is one of the ones that was up there for me where I just like couldn't put it down, was very excited. Like, want to go. I like went and bought books at Target. I ordered a few different copies. I was like down to clown. I want to go, if and when this hits the big screen, I will like be there, rope dropping essentially, like being at the movie premiere, ordering the popcorn if they do like a midnight showing. Bring back midnight showings in movie theaters, matter of fact. That's something that I want to talk about, especially, this is a little bit of a tangent, and I apologize. I'll get back to the books in just 1 second, but this does correlate. Especially with the Netflix Warner Brothers buyout. I know we are all kind of nervous to see where that goes, especially when it comes to movies. One thing that you need to know about me, I don't know if you're like this, please let me know if you are, but I love movies. The movie theater is where I met my husband. That is where our love story began. I couldn't wait to work at the movie theaters. I've always been a movie theater. I've always been a movie goer. I love going to the theater. There is something about sitting in theater and sharing that experience with other people, especially on those midnight releases. If you were there for a Twilight release, a Hunger Games release, hell, even the Maze Runner or any of the Harry Potters, you got to be a little bit older if you were there for those midnight releases, which I was there for a couple of them. But there was nothing like being there with people who had Team Jacob, Team da-da-da on the shirt. You were so excited and you were sharing it, and it was so electric, the vibe in the room. All of the Marvel movies, oh my gosh, I remember working a couple of those Marvel premieres, and it was insane. And some of the funnest times I had too, because you just had people who like had theories about what was going to happen, and we shared that experience, and we laughed and we cried at our favorite parts. There is nothing like a movie going experience. So I hope that continues, and I love seeing our book to movie adaptations. I know a lot of people feel a certain type of way about them. I love them. I'm always going to love to see you bring something that I read in a book and bring it to screen, whether it's very good or very bad. I'm always going to love it. I'm going to have love in my heart for it. Are some movie adaptations better than others? Yes, obviously, because you're going to have some who like really nail the storyline. You're going to have others who kind of aren't, didn't really quite capture it. But I hope that we do see this on the screen one day. I would absolutely love to see how all the dynamics played out. I love a dragon. I love a dragon rider. And yeah, that one was definitely a hit for me. So now I'm going to go on the ones that I have on my phone that I do not have a copy of. Alchemized. I do have a copy of it. I just don't know where I put it. So that's on me. Listen, please don't come for me if you loved Alchemized. I just could not get through it, okay? I got about 25% in. I guess I don't know. I never read Manacled when it was first released. I've heard amazing, incredible things about it. I love the storyline. I love the premise. I don't know what it was about Alchemized, and honestly, it could just be that when I was reading it, I wasn't in the right mind frame. I'm also a mood reader, so sometimes when I start to read a book, I just can't get into it. It could be that. I really don't want to, and it's not that I'm like scared to critique a book. I'll critique a book. I'll let you know if I don't like something and why I don't like something. It's not that I'm scared to critique it. I typically do not review books if I DNF. I'll just say I DNF'd, I didn't like it, and I'll leave it at that. I just feel like this is a book that I would enjoy and that I do like, but I didn't when I was getting into it. I will try to give it another chance, and maybe I will completely change my mind and I will walk this back. I have no problem saying, hey, I was wrong, okay? You got me. I was wrong. I would love to be wrong about that, but at this moment in time, I'm gonna give it a no, and I'm so sorry about that. I do read Harry Potter fan fiction though, and I have read some Hermione fan fiction. I just never read that one, which I know is like the big one, so it's kind of weird, but again, doesn't really matter, not really here nor there. A Love Letter to Whiskey. Now this got re-released, and it's gotten a ton of love this year, which I love. I have been singing A Love Letter to Whiskey, and I am gonna say I'm not like other girls because I did read it a long time ago. I'm gonna sing Candy Steiner's praises when it comes to that book because I love angst and mess and drama. That book has angst and mess and drama. It has all the things that really hit for me when I'm looking for a book. At the very beginning, she has feelings for her best friend's guy. She saw him first, her best friend kind of took him, and you get that angst right off the bat. And sometimes you get that angst right off the bat, and then they go throughout the story and the angst kind of lessens. And actually, Candy said, you like that? Here's more pain. Here's more pain. Having her be, and this is a little bit of a spoiler, but also like I'm not going to spoil the whole book for you if you are interested in reading it. Having her be the best man and giving like the best man the movie vibes, and having her come and like be his best man, genius, 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 genius. Because that was so well done, and I loved all of like the angst and the mess of that and the drama. I loved how much drama it caused. I love when a writer can take something, right? They can place their characters in a setting that's going to cause the most optimal drama, especially when you bring certain characters and you set it up in a certain way. And there's this one scene where they're all at the dinner table and he's like handing his group, she's the one that gives the gift. She gives him something, and it's this like kind of little inside joke, and like they're kind of like looking at each other and kind of laughing, and they're like, oh, and then everybody else is like, hey, so we don't get the inside thing that you guys going on here, and we don't like it. And you as a reader, you're like, oh, this feels a little grimy, this feels a little icky. And you realize that from outsiders, these two characters are not in the right? But they're right for each other. They're doing the right thing for each other. They're definitely not doing right by the people around them, but they're doing right by each other. And I love that kind of like toxic love like that, where they're like, it doesn't really matter what's going on. They don't really care who they're hurting. Like they care, but they don't care enough to stop. You know what I mean? I love when two characters just cannot stay away from each other. They're like magnets and they can't get away from each other. And that kind of like push and pull. And then like throughout the story, they're just never quite ready for each other. When she's ready to be with him, he's not ready to be with her. When he's ready to be with her, she's not ready to be with him. And they're like both still trying to like move on and have these lives and move on from each other, but they realize that they can't because they love each other and they can't stay away from each other. Last but not least on my list is going to be The Mate by Ali Hazelwood. 2 Ali Hazelwood books in this series, okay? Our girl was having herself a time. I saw The Mate everywhere when it was coming out. Everybody and their mother was reading it, and I could not wait to read it. And I'm telling you, 10 out of 10. Oh, I forgot to say, is the Love Letter to Whiskey worth it? Yeah, 10 out of 10. I think there was only one book that I said maybe. I think books get popular for a reason, and I typically really enjoy when the books are popular. So anyway, Mate, 10 out of 10. Yes, it is worth it. I think she did phenomenal. It's such a good introduction, right, to if you don't read shifter romance or like the Omega verse romance and you've never dipped your toes into it, and you might be watching this and going, what does that even mean? What's the Omega verse? What is that? And so read Mate, because she did such a fantastic job of like integrating it in a way that's like easy to understand, easy to follow. And like those of us who have read Omegaverse, we clocked immediately what was happening to her. We were like, oh yeah, homegirl is sick because she needs her mate, you know? And then other people were like, oh my god, what's going on? And then I just really, and what she does so good with her writing, right? She does tension so well. She writes the spice very good too, but she does the build up and the tension so well that when you get to the spice, you get that perfect payoff. She does that just the timing is so the timing is so perfectly well done. You have all this tension between these two characters and this back and forth, and like they're friends but they almost can't be in the same room as each other because the sexual tension is off the charts. It was like a slow burn, like a medium kind of burn. I definitely have read slower burn for sure, but I loved the way she built this up, and I loved the way she kind of explained things, and the nodding of it all was just perfect. I love that. I love that that is like a phrase that everybody now knows, because do you know how many times I've been like, so yeah, I'm reading this book and it has nodding in it, and people are like, what? Coming in? Okay, so I'm gonna give you a lesson. If you don't know what nodding is and you came to this, if you don't want to hear it, it is a very schmexual term. I don't know what I can say on YouTube, but it's very schmexual. So if you don't want to learn about it, you can slide off. Okay, so a shifter or a alpha in the Omegaverse, and in the Omegaverse, a shifter can be an alpha, but you also have in the Omegaverse where they don't shift and they're just kind of like normal people, but they just have this designation, this thing inside of them that makes them an alpha, and they have this kind of biology. Okay, are we following along? Okay, so part of being an alpha is they have their appendage, right? And the whole point, the whole biology of it all, is for them to find their mate, right? Their omega. Sometimes they're beta. But the whole point is for them to mate and to have babies, right? And so the thing that they have is they have their member, and they have, I'm going to use this, what they call the knot around the base of the member, so that when they interlock, they stay there, right? It stays locked in so that they can create babies. And that is in the most simplest, most least graphic way I can describe it, okay? If you would like to know more, I encourage you to read more Omegaverse books and shifter books. I have a lot. Maybe I can make a video on that. I just gave myself an idea. I will make a video for you if it's something you're interested in. I read a lot of shifter romance and Omegaverse romance. So that's going to be it for the books that I think, some of the popular books I saw for 2025 on Booktok, if I think they were worth it or not. We had a lot of yeses. We had one maybe, and we had one no. I think as far as averages go, that's good. I think that is a good average. Kudos to Booktok. We get a lot of crap that's talked. Oh my god, Booktok lied to me. Oh my god, da, da, da. But I do think that when we come together and we find books that we all agree upon, I think we're going in the right direction. I think we can agree on some things, okay? And again, if you don't agree with my takes, fine. Reading is, say it with me, subjective. And that's going to be all for this Bookmas Vlogmas, and I'm going to see you tomorrow. Bye!